What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we've got a lot of great information for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And we're starting off essentially within the next few days talking about a number of different things with the end of the year sales. It's been a crazy 2020. We had new systems launch, we had the domination of the Nintendo Switch across the board when it comes to the NPD and worldwide sales, but I wanted to hone in on something that's very important, and that is the Amazon bestsellers, especially with the lockdowns and COVID and stuff like that. Amazon has been one of the big key pieces for many people to get their games, whether it would be gift cards or different types of distribution from like Roblox or Xbox Live or PSN, all of that. But right now we're going to focus in on what's going on with the Nintendo Switch, because it seems like the year of Mario. Mario's 30th anniversary was a big one. So currently on the Amazon best sellers, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the game that came out pretty much at the launch of the Nintendo Switch over 3 years ago, is the best selling game, showing that during the Christmas shopping period or time period, Mario Kart 8, once again, even outside of the bundle, the Black Friday bundle, is still one of the top games being bought. It's not just something that people just go on the eShop for. It is something that people are literally physically buying and putting into their Nintendo Switch cartridges. Yes, they buy digital as well, but this shows me that people still can't get enough of Mario Kart 8. It is just that evergreen game of evergreen titles. So that is the number one game. The Nintendo Switch itself was the best-selling system on Amazon for the full year. Now, I will have more of a comprehensive roundup of some of the information along with some new stuff, but I did want to go over that because I think it's pretty cool to see, especially, we've talked about this, but especially since where the Nintendo Switch was, and even the 3DS to a degree. The 3DS wasn't out here beating all of the systems that it was matched up against, with the exception of like PS Vita, but other systems on the market. It wasn't like the Nintendo 3DS was beating out PlayStation 4 or other things like that. It was doing well, but nowhere near the level that we see for the Nintendo Switch. So it's good to see the Switch do so well, and obviously it's aided by the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X simply just not having enough stock to meet the demand. But even if there was, I still think the Switch does enough things differently, does enough things new, and has enough software that people can see it as a secondary system, or buying it for a younger family member, or taking it on trips with them, or whatever the case is. So I think that's where Nintendo kind of hit the home run, and reinforcing the idea that this hybrid console can coincide with way more powerful consoles and still be just fine as long as you have the software to back it up. I mean, and that's what I've been saying for a very long time. They've got to have the software, they've got to have the games, they've got to have the stuff that people want to play at what they think is reasonable. And the price is good. People are buying it at $299, number one system on Amazon. In addition to Super Mario 3D All-Stars being one of the top games sold as well, I think out of all of the Amazon bestsellers, it is, outside of Mario Kart, it is the second best selling game. You have a bunch of like accessories and controllers and stuff that people gift for the holidays, but when it comes to gaming right now, man, it is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and it is Super Mario 3D All-Stars that are at the top, along with the Nintendo Switch, and of course carrying cases and all that. It was also good to see Spider-Man Miles Morales. That game has been getting a lot of love on the PlayStation 4 as well. People are picking that game up. That's one of the best selling games on the PlayStation 4 itself too, with the original Spider-Man, so people are getting into that sequel too. So just good to see there, and I wanted to point out in terms of how well the Switch was doing and how it can compete with the other systems, because that was a question mark. We had multiple people coming in through to the live streams and saying, how is Nintendo going to compete? What is Nintendo going to do against these systems? And I think the answer is right here after this holiday that we're seeing. So what do you guys think about the domination of the Nintendo Switch here, and also the sales of some of the other games? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys. We finally have some information on Hollow Knight Silksong, or at least the tease of some information coming for Hollow Knight Silksong. So almost 2 years since Silksong was announced, and status updates have been sketchy and pretty much non-existent to say the least, but now we do have some more information. So Edge magazine has revealed that it scored a coveted Hollow Knight cover and world exclusive into the game for its next issue. There's going to be an in-depth feature that's planned, and once again, world exclusive. Pretty cool, right, guys? We should get some more details in the next few days or so, so just kind of keep it locked in here. Hollow Knight is one of those games that rose from small indie, what was it, Kickstarter or crowdfunded project, to absolutely massive independent game, getting millions of sales across the board, whether it comes to Nintendo Switch, where I think it sold best on that platform, or the PC. I mean, it has been doing absolutely amazing, and the developers obviously are blown away. Team Cherry blown away with the response that Hollow Knight got, and they deserve it. I mean, that game is a callback to the old school, right? Metroidvania type of style game, hardcore. It's not a game that pulls punches. It's very difficult, but at the same time, it's fair. The combat is smooth and silky. There's a lot of great things to say about Hollow Knight. There's a lot of good things that are in this game, and of course, the sequel is going to be highly anticipated by many people out there. So I'm glad that they were able to kind of put it up to this level, right? To the point to where people are anticipating it so much that it scores an Edge magazine cover. That's awesome, right? You would have never thought 5, 6, 7 years ago, outside of like the biggest games, maybe Minecraft or whatever the case, that an independent game like this, a crowdfunded independent game, can be this highly anticipated. But it is, and we're at that moment that people do get super excited for this, and that's what makes me happy. It's not all just about big budget Michael Bay style video games. You can have a game made by like what, 2-3 people or something like that, and it be super hype and exciting for people because people care about gameplay. That's important, not just graphics and, you know, animations and all this other stuff. Gameplay is very important, and that's what Hollow Knight is all about, because it's got plenty of that. So what do you guys think about information coming soon for Hollow Knight Silksong from Edge? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, I'm moving on to the next topic here, guys. We have a breakthrough for Japanese action games because NieR Automata shipments and digital sales have broke through a new milestone. So total worldwide shipments and digital sales for NieR Automata have exceeded 5 million units, Square Enix has announced. And the game was last reported in September to have reached 4.85 million units. So Square Enix definitely likes to keep you guys knowing exactly where the sales are. It's like people buy a number of copies, like, okay, we're at 5 million. Okay, let's talk about it now. Like, they are really eager, but it's a way of marketing, because guess what? Now I'm talking about it. So it's just like free marketing for the game, right? So NieR Automata first launched for the PlayStation 4 in Japan back in February 23rd, 2017. It's been a while since the game came out. Followed by the PlayStation 4 in North America on March 7th and Europe on March 10th. PC via Steam worldwide on March 17th, and Xbox One worldwide a year later on June 26th, 2018. A Game of the Year Yora Edition launched for the PlayStation 4 and the PC worldwide in February 2019. Gamatsu writes, so pretty cool to see the success of this game over a number of years, and while some people might not think that's a big number, that's an absolutely huge number for this style of hardcore action RPG open world type of game. It's a weird kind of mix in terms of what you can do in NieR Automata, but I think that it's a breakthrough for this type of game. It shows that games like an Astral Chain, like a DMC Devil May Cry, NieR, these games can be multi-million sellers, and these games are games that developers can still make, because there was a time period that people just weren't buying these games as much. That's why God of War moved away from it. That's why a lot of these bigger developers kind of moved away from making games like this and kind of went towards like the Souls route, because those games started doing a lot better than the traditional, you know, stylish action games that we've seen over the years. But NieR Automata and also Astral Chain success and some of the stuff that's been happening, DMC Devil May Cry, shows that these games do have a future and they do have a chance, and more developers should take some chances on those style of games. So I'm very happy to see a NieR Automata pass 5 million shipments, digital sales, all of that. Very good to see, and we should see some more action with this game with NieR Replicant coming out early 2021. So what are you guys' thoughts on NieR Automata selling over 5 million units so far? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the last topic here. We do seem to have a little bit of a mass exodus of top talent at Sony Interactive Entertainment Japan Studios. Teruyuki Toriyama, who worked as a producer on the Demon's Souls remake, Bloodborne, Soul Sacrifice, and many more, will leave Sony Interactive Entertainment Japan Studio at the end of December. He announced, quote, I will be leaving Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studios Japan Studio at the end of December, Toriyama said. To all the users who have supported Japan Studios so far, thank you so much. I will continue to take on the challenge of creating new game IPs in my new company, and I ask for your continued support. Now, Toriyama's departure follows the departure of Kenichiro Toyama, Mr. Saito, and Junya Okuda, who left to establish the new video game studio Bokeh Game Studio. So very interesting to see all of these top people from Sony Japan studio leave. The other top talent to leave, they did the Gravity Rush games that I love so much, but I think that we're kind of seeing the focus from what Sony's doing, right? They're kind of focusing way more on the Western markets. The games like Gravity Rush and some of those Japan studio games haven't done as well when it comes to sales, and Sony has just kind of shifted focus over to that. I personally feel they should have took a page out of Atlas's book and kind of make a game like Persona, right? And try to see if they can get the Japanese audience first and foremost to like it and buy it, but then also expand that to Europe and the US and get people, the otaku type of gamers like myself, to buy that. But I don't think they ever wanted to give Sony Japan Studio the budget to make that type of game. They always tried to went with more of like that action game or like a Gravity Rush style. But I think that if you're going to do that type of Japanese game, you gotta make it to where Japan first likes it, then you can kind of branch it out. And I'm not sure if Gravity Rush ever got to that level. I don't think it did. I mean, it got enough to get at least 3 releases if you count like the PS Vita, you count the remastered release, you count the second release of the game. So I mean, they did enough there, but it wasn't enough in terms of what Sony was looking to offer them in terms of freedom of IP and making new things or continuing the type of games that they like to make for the top talent to stay. And that's why everybody is leaving at this point. But I think there's probably going to be more to come from this, so we might have to revisit this topic in the future. But what do you guys think about all the different topics today that we discussed? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Check out the links in the description. We've got Twitter. Go and give us a follow on there. Stay up to date on all the latest gaming news and information. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you can. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next one. Peace.